Okay, so week 13, deep into November, approaching the 3 month mark here. It's been a crazy 3 months here, honestly, already. Lots happened, and I'm just taking it one day at a time, honestly. That's been the biggest key to getting through the harder things that have happened since I've been here. But yeah, week 13, I went and got my residency card. So I applied to be a resident and I went and got my card. I walked into the immigration office and a Middle Eastern guy was sitting down and he looked at me and he smiled and said, Salam alaikum. And I was like half shocked because I'm like, there's no way he thinks I'm Arabic, right? But I just shot it back at him because I said, that's, I know it's a greeting, but like it was just wow because he said with a smirk, like, I wonder what he's gonna do or something. I don't know. But yeah, that was a kind of weird, funny moment that happened with that. But yeah, I got my card. Um, I'm finally official over here, which means that if the police stop me, I have a little bit more ground for getting out of that situation, whatever that situation may be. Um, after class on Tuesday, I was with a couple of guys from one of the branches at the train station waiting to go back, and I was talking about like the Black Brotherhood because it's been a conversation I've had before, but with different people, and people are like, "Oh, like whenever you guys see each other, do you always just say hi to each other?" And it's like, yeah, that's kind of what we do. And then while we were talking about it, a black guy walked behind, and then he kind of just threw a heads up, so I responded, and then like um my friend, one of the guys looked, and he was just like, oh, you guys really just do that? And I was like, yeah, it's just what we do. And then the other guy, Vlad, who hadn't looked at the engagement, he was like, oh, what's happening? And then Dima was telling him that, oh, yeah, like, when black people see each other, pretty much like they say hi even if they don't know. And then Vlad was like, "Wait, really?" And I'm like, "Yeah, like if we see each other, we just kind of say what's up because like we can almost always know that we are part of the same group with other people. Like you don't know that, you don't have that ability as easily. Maybe with Asian cultures, but that's like about it. As far as black people, like you know, we just have our look like. And then I point at them. I'm like, I mean, you guys are both Ukrainian, but you guys look different. Like, Vlad has darker hair, darker eyes, and then Dima has blonder hair, brighter eyes. Like, they just don't even like look the same. So like, if they met each other, as if you guys met each other in America, you guys wouldn't necessarily know that you're Ukrainian until you start talking, and then maybe if you hear the accent, but otherwise you just don't know. But like for us, we don't have to say a word; we just could look at each other and know. Um, so yeah, um, that still goes on, and I guess people here that see it are like really surprised by it. They're like, "Wow, you guys do that? That's so cool." Yeah. Another funny moment this week. I spoke Russian in class. At the teacher's request. The teacher was asking me, what are you studying? And I said, I'm studying both. And she's like, oh, can you say something? So I said, I'm learning Russian in Russian. And she was like, oh, that's cool. But the kids were like, oh my gosh. Like, she said it and she was like, oh wow. But the kids like froze because the kids had been talking in the background. But when they heard it from me, they were like, oh shoot. Because I had now breached the barrier between me and them because most kids in the classes, they'll say things in Russian. Sometimes they explain it, but sometimes they want to talk about things, and they just want to talk about it. They don't want you to know. But when I spoke Russian, that told me that, oh wow, he knows how to speak it, and that he also might know how to understand. What does he know? So whenever I see that class again, it'll be interesting to see like what their like body language is, and like what they talk about, what language they use, how many times they look at me. Because yeah, I did that and they flipped. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. Another thing I did this week was accidentally stealing a key from a university. So I had the individual lesson in one of the classrooms, and I opened the door and sat down to the lesson, and then another class came in. I helped with that, and I went home. I thought I had left the key on the table. It turns out I slipped the key in my back pocket and had no idea until the next day when I get a call, and the teacher's like, hey Raymond, have you seen the key? The security guard's not really happy and he doesn't have it. And I was like, no, I thought I left it. Man, I get back to the I get back to my room, I check my back pocket, keys right there. I was like, oh my gosh. So I had to go on my off day 1 hour downtown to drop off this key, told the security guard I'm sorry, and then came back and chilled the rest of the day. But yeah, would not recommend stealing a key from university. Like, I don't know, I probably got like other people's key privileges taken away or something because of this. But yeah, just one of the little things that happens when you're in a new place and a bunch of different things are going on. I also watched a K-drama last week. That was really interesting. It's called Descendants of the Sun, which, I mean, I'm sure some of you guys might know, but it's actually the #1 drama for one of the girls from like that favorite class that I have. And she like flipped that one into her. She was like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. And it was funny to me because I feel there's so many of these different K-dramas and animes and stuff that to even like connect with people over like watching the same show even on Netflix, I feel like is kind of unexpected, because like there are popular ones, and I mean, I guess I don't even know if Descendants of the Sun's popular. I just know it's the one that I watched with Catherine and Gabriel. So yeah, that was week number 13. Later.